Hello, friends. Good morning, and welcome to our first class of Azure, along with that Azure DevOps, along with that Terraform. So, as you know, this is our first class, and let me explain the agenda for today. Anyway, I have placed these two URLs in the chat. I'm going to put one more time. So what exactly are these URLs is normally if I post related to any new batches, any information, this is a broadcast group where I normally send it out. So you can join there. So it's not a communication. It's not related to this batch actually. It's an open group where I'm going to post the information about new batches. Okay, as this is our first class, right? Let's understand the agenda first. Now, this is class one. So first, most important thing is Satish, your camera is on. Please disable it. Okay. So first important thing is this course needs 100% attention. First thing, this is most important thing. Okay, so same with my other courses as well. It can be AWS or DevOps or Kubernetes, because I teaches four different courses: AWS, DevOps, Azure, Kubernetes. So all these four courses, so it requires 100% of attention. So the reason I'm saying this is you should not miss any class and you should not miss any of the practice if you are able to put that kind of attention, that kind of hard work, right? It is going to change your future, because so the market looks like the market will be very, very good next year. I mean, we know that this is the end of the year, so next year it will be very, very good. So you can be able to go into as a cloud engineer as well as a DevOps engineer. So this requires 100% of attention, and I'm going to say, and it's not easy. No. So if it is easy, any person can do this kind of course, right? So it's not easy, it will be tough, but that is why it is paid very well. Okay, the reason why cloud and DevOps are being very paid very well is because it's not that easy. So it's hard, so you need to put a lot of effort here. Now second thing is why Azure, or first difference between Azure versus Azure DevOps. We need to be very, very clear on this one. So because many people think that Azure DevOps is like a complete DevOps, actually no, that is not the case. So let me give you the basic difference so that we are all clear on what we are talking. So Azure is the cloud. If you go to portal.azure.com, for example, this is the Azure portal. That is meant, that is where you're going to manage all your environments. Like, so it can be the whole infrastructure, the Azure infrastructure. You're going to manage it from here. Okay, this is actually cloud, similar to AWS cloud or similar to Google cloud, right? So you're going to manage it from here. Now, what exactly Azure DevOps is? If you go something like dev.azure.com, for example. Okay, if you go to dev.azure.com, so it is you're going to log into with something called as a Azure DevOps. Now Azure DevOps is basically a SaaS based CI/CD tool. Okay, CI/CD tool. It's a, simply put, it is a tool actually. So similar to Jenkins or GitHub Actions, it is a kind of a tool. So how it looks like is, let me log in and show it to you. So this is completely with the cloud, where you're going to create your databases, servers, networks, all these things, storage accounts, everything. You're going to do it in this portal. And to automate that, imagine I want to use Terraform to automate whole infrastructure creation. So what you're going to do is, so you're going to create an organization here, and you're going to deal with that. Like, you're going to create the pipelines, all these things. So you can create multiple projects here. You see, Yeah, like this, you're going to create multiple projects actually. So inside each project, we're going to go inside and run the pipelines. So that means the CI/CD, continuous integration, and continuous deployment pipelines. So we have different stages actually. We're going to run this. So don't get confused with thinking that Azure DevOps is entire DevOps. So if I take entire DevOps, for example, if I go to my website, for example, sreeharshav.com. Okay, so if I go to DevSecOps here, so if I click on this, so if you see, this is actually a different DevOps curriculum, right? In this curriculum, so as part of Azure, what we are discussing right now, we're going to cover this Terraform, as well as we're going to cover Azure DevOps. Apart from that, if you go for Azure, you go for DevOps, right? There is a lot of other things. For example, you have shell scripting, you have Python fundamentals. Apart from that, you have version control. Okay. Apart from that, you have like Docker containers, Ansible. So what I'm trying to say is I have noticed a lot of either trainers or either institutes, they are saying AWS DevOps or Azure DevOps kind of thing. So what you need to understand is to learn better, to improve yourself. First of all, look Azure and DevOps as a different thing. In this course, what we're going to do is we're going to cover Azure like from basic to advanced. You'll be very, very good with Azure, and also to automate all the infrastructure. So we're going to use Terraform with Azure DevOps CI/CD tool. So Azure DevOps is nothing but it's a tool to automate that one. So just keep that in mind and use Terraform to automate the infrastructure. Okay. Now let's understand your roadmap here. Okay, you started today, right? So maybe there are, I know I have seen my old students as well, who the current students as well, who are in AWS batch, are old students as well, they know that. But the people who joined here, so I want to give you what will be your learning path. The reason is you should not blindly go and join somewhere and try to imagine that some magic thing will happen. You need to plan it very properly. So how should, what, or simply, what is my career path? Okay, now when you want to career path, when you want to design your career path, first thing you need to understand, okay, what are the market expectations for next 10 years, or at least maybe next 5 years. Okay, so you need to think about that one. Now people are saying like AI is coming, artificial intelligence is coming, and it is going to impact all these things. Now one thing, the cloud and the DevOps people no need to worry is AI. Yes, it might impact developers, but that is also is going not going that well. Why? Because recently there are two instances because of the AI. I think some one of the big four company, you search for big four, has some problems with related to Australian government and Canada government. Because of the AI, there are some database issues, everything. So people are not 100% going there. So at least if you have, if somebody is saying that AI is coming, because I hear this a lot of things, people are saying AI is coming, it is going to impact the jobs. So let me tell you, okay, if you have some doubt, right, go and search. Okay, so how AI can solve my database performance issue. Try to search that. Now what AI can do is it can give you recommendations. Okay, do proper indexing, proper caching, that's all. But it is not that much evolved to go ahead and do the troubleshooting and fix the issue. So there are a lot of instances still human factor is required in order to fix the issue. So one thing you don't need to worry, especially cloud based, cloud administrators, DevOps administrators, is AI is going to help you rather than take your job. So just remove that nonsense from your mind. Okay, AI is not going to impact any of the DevOps because it will take a lot of time to AI to troubleshoot a Kubernetes problem, to troubleshoot a networking problem. It's not that easy. So now based upon that, if I ask you what is your career path, your career path end goal should be you should be a DevOps or as a DevOps engineer or site reliability engineer or short form SRE. Okay, now in order to achieve this state, what is the expectation from the market? When I say market, from the firms, I mean the companies. So their expectation is very straightforward, because I think yesterday or day before yesterday, one of my old student has called and said that, sir, I was attending the interviews and market expectation is they are expecting I'm good in AWS, but they are also expecting Azure. So so I said, Neil will going to talk that at the last your question. So I said that I was keep saying this from almost 3 4 years, at least 5 years, not 3 4 5 years. So market is expecting both the clouds. So now if you come here, so you need to plan in such a way. The market expectation is very straightforward, multi-cloud. When you say multi-cloud, you can start with Azure or AWS and AWS. GCP is there, but let me tell you, market is heavily occupied by AWS and Azure, not GCP. It might take time in future. So, but as of now, this is the multi-cloud plus DevOps or DevSecOps, doesn't matter. Dev, I can say like DevSecOps. These are not different courses, folks. This is the same course. You're adding extra security component into DevOps, like pipeline scanning, protecting your secrets, protecting your code, all these things. Plus microservices, microservices architecture, which is most probably Docker and Kubernetes, but I'll say like K8 is okay. So you need to learn this. So multi-cloud, there is something called Python as well, but not right now. So once you are familiar with these stuff, right, then you can go ahead and learn GCP or Python, whatever it is. But you need to put all your concentration like this. So the career path is multi-cloud with DevOps or DevSecOps along with microservices architecture. So since you are starting with Azure now, you need to learn Azure and Azure whole ecosystem like DevOps and everything. Once Azure is good with Azure, then you can go with DevSecOps to automate the whole infrastructure and to make your CV very perfect and make your CV like very valuable, right? You're going to learn one more course, which is additional cloud. That means what will happen is, imagine if there are 10 jobs in the market. I keep on saying this, 10 jobs in the market, 4 belong to Azure, 4 belong to AWS, and remaining belong to other clouds, for example. If you learn only one cloud like AWS or Azure, so the shortlisting ratio will be 4% or 40% in for 100. But if you learn both the clouds, the shortlisting percent is 100%. Why? Because if the person knows that you know AWS and Azure, he'll be very confident you can learn the third cloud as well. So there is a good amount of chance, you maybe 90 to 100% your resume will be shortlisted. So you start with Azure because today it is Azure. You go to DevOps and AWS, or vice versa is also fine. Like if you are already learning AWS, you can go this one, right? That is better way. So but if you want to learn both the clouds at the same time, like I have some students, that is also fine. You can, if you want to save the time, because next DevOps class will be in somewhere in Jan, actually Jan mid, I think Jan 5th, I think. So you can learn both the clouds, and if you want to go to DevOps, that is also fine, no issues. So you learn this way or vice versa, that is completely fine. But you need to put a lot of attention and lot of practice, because there are a lot of people claiming that I'm good with that, good with this, good with DevOps, everything. The moment they came for the interview, right, I can see 9 out of 10%, right, they are not able to do fundamental things. Because the way I took the interview is, I will directly show, okay, I'll give a Azure portal or give a Linux machine, okay, start typing the regular commands, everything. They are not able to do that. So if you properly follow and practice it, so I'm have 100% confidence that if you follow this path, and you travel along with me, you can basically clear any sort of DevOps engineer or site reliability engineer interviews. Okay, now let's understand what you are going to learn in this course. Of course I have the syllabus here. You can go ahead and check the syllabus. Now last batch, that means previous batch is 55 batch, right? This is not true, guys, not 45 hours, because I took 53 classes for that batch, and there are some classes which went to 1.5 hour. So I think I need to edit that. It should be somewhere between 55 hours to 60 hours. So Azure has increased a lot actually because of new services and everything, right? So but anyway, you can go ahead and check it out, what is the Azure curriculum here. So you can actually, these certifications, even AZ104 also applicable. 104 also, so 204 is development actually. You can also take up the development as well. I think this is 305. I need to update this actually. Now I'll give like a point wise what we are going to learn in this course. You will have a good idea. Okay, so what we are going to learn in this course. First thing, so Azure from basic to advanced means, so basic network creation or resource creation too, you're going to learn like function app, as well as you're going to learn about Kubernetes AKS, and also you learn about APIM. So you're going to learn advanced. So that means if somebody, if once you go for job or interview, if they say that okay, this is my portal, navigate through the portal, go there, you can easily deal with. So how exactly you enable the logging, because I closely work with my team in my cyber security team in my office basically. So we used to share the knowledge. So I also going to explain about the how the security aspects going to impact, because many people don't really put concentration on the security. Okay, I'm going to explain those things as well. What is the impact if you don't put how the passwords get compromised if you are not very careful. So we're going to do that. So next is automate infrastructure with Terraform from basic to deep actually. So that means we are going to discuss like how to automate the whole infrastructure of Azure actually. So that means, so not just like running Terraform basic commands. Any person, any decent knowledge who is having an Azure and Terraform can do that, and it's not really useful. We need to talk at a level of modules as well as workspaces and also functions. So for an example, I'm going to show you what level actually. This is IAC. This is modules and workspaces. Just to give you a rough glimpse at what level we're going to talk. So this is Azure, this is basically GitHub Actions. I'm going to show you this as well, but this is the code. So I will help you to write this code and also these modules actually. Okay, don't be little afraid or really concerned about this one. So by the time we'll come to Terraform, it will take almost like 20 classes. By the time you'll understand what are all this stuff actually. And also I'm going to show you how you can actually configure the GitHub Actions along with along with Azure DevOps, right? Okay, so Umesh, here it we'll talk about last actually. So you need to put concentration what I'm teaching. So all the non-essential things we'll talk at the last. So so what will happen, this automate the infrastructure for Terraform. Apart from that, what we're going to do is integrate Active Directory, Active Directory, and understand Azure Entra. This is something very important from a security perspective, Entra ID. So apart from that, integrate Office 365 or Microsoft 365 for email, comma Teams, chat, comma SharePoint with Entra ID. Apart from that, so create GitHub Actions pipeline. We will discuss ADO pipeline, but as part of when I'm teaching the Terraform, right, I'm going to tell you how to write the pipeline in GitHub Actions as well, because I have noticed a lot of companies are using GitHub because GitHub is owned by Microsoft. So we're going to talk about GitHub Actions as part of this pipeline as well, or normally we call it as workflows here. So action slash workflows, we're going to talk about that. Okay, we're going to discuss about this one. So apart from that, right, so there will be discussions going on Linux. I'm going to use a lot of Linux and Windows. So as a side effect, right, you're going to understand how to deal with Linux and Windows servers as well. Like I'm going to use Linux heavily. I also use Windows as well, because if you want to deploy Microsoft Active Directory, right, we need to use Windows servers. So like this, you're going to go through a lot of stuff. Finally, I forgot to say, like Azure DevOps CI/CD tool for application and infrastructure automation. This is the reason why the course went into 60, or maybe I don't know, this batch might go to 65 hours. That is the reason I teach on weekends as well, not only weekdays. So if I teach only weekdays, this course will go to three and a half month. I don't want to do that. So that's why I teach on weekends as well, not first week, later, not first weekend, coming weekends. So it will go to even 60 plus hours, we don't know. That's why it's a very very large course. So that's why I don't see any course outside where mixing these topics. I mean, this is our real time, right? So these are all the things I deal with every day along with my team. So once you go through this, it will be like you will be ready to deal with most, even though you are very new to the cloud, right? So once you practice very well, so you'll be very very confident to handle that. Okay, so this is what you're going to learn as part of this course. Now let's come here. Dependencies. What are the dependencies to do the course? So not much, you can do it from the scratch, because I'm going to teach you from the scratch. So anyone can join as we start from the scratch, because, or basics I can say, instead of scratch I'm going to say start from the basics actually. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create an Azure account, from there to deploy a machine, from the basics actually. Now let's go into the technical aspects. Okay, so technical aspects is, obviously, if you want to practice Azure, you need to have the Azure account. That is very important. Without Azure account, you can't do a lot of practice. So we need to create Azure free trial account. Okay, so Azure basically provide you somewhere like a trial version for $200 for 1 month. Okay, now let me tell you, I don't really believe in this free trial, because our course will take 2 months to complete. So how can we complete everything in 1 month? Second thing is, even though if you have like $200 per month, there are a lot of restrictions, like not more than four CPU. They will say only four CPU, and only three IP at public IPs. So there will be restrictions actually. So that's why, even though if the free trial is not available for you, don't worry, go for pay as you go. Pay as you go, that means whatever you're going to use, you're going to get charged. So what is my observation is, if you practice very well, that means whatever the topic I'm going to teach you, if you practice very well, I'm not expecting, mostly assuming that you practice every class 2 times, right? Assuming that, mostly you will get a bill of rupees 1000 rupees, between 1000 to 1500 for a whole course, not more than that. The reason why I'm saying this is, many people try to do it everything in the free trial. So don't do that. The reason is, there are a lot of limitations which won't allow you. We need to learn a lot. So if you are practicing twice every class, right, you might get it maybe 1000 to 15, not more than that, I'm 100% sure. So now imagine the amount of, if you learn very well, the amount of salary, the amount of hike you are going to get is, this is nothing before that one. The reason I'm saying is, so don't limit your practice just because you might be thinking, oh, I might get a lot of bill, we can't lot of a bill, all these things. No, don't do that. So the end goal is you need to practice heavily. See, for me, let me show it to you what is the bill I'm going to get. Let me come to subscriptions, or let me do one thing. Let me show you what is the last month bill actually. Okay, so that you will get an idea. Because I have 4 subscriptions. Now this is the current month bill. This is the expected is actual cost is this one. Okay, so mostly I have deleted it. This is a forecast. Don't worry about this. I'll go to the previous month. Okay, last month I got a bill about 2000 rupees. Okay, so what you need to understand is 2000. I mean, it's for me, right? I take multiple classes, and I teach. I'm going to use this in Kubernetes as well, some in AWS as well. I'm going to use this. That's why I got this bill. In your case, you won't even get 1000. Okay, you won't get those, so no need to worry. The reason I'm giving you this lecture confidence is because you should not just limit by the money. Actually treat this as investment. You're not going to get more than 10,000 to 1500 for both the months. That means this month maybe 700, next month might be 800. That's all, 2 months course, so no need to worry. Now let's go ahead and create a free account. Okay, let's go to create a free account. So, and we'll see what exactly is going to how exactly going to do that. So what I'm going to do is, it's very easy. I'm going to open a private window. I'm going to say like portal.azure.com. Okay, so first thing is we need to create a Microsoft account. Okay, can anybody paste your email address who don't have the email, who don't have the Azure account, right? Could you please paste your email account here so that I can create the account for you? Because most of the people will have this account, so that's why. So anybody who think that they don't have account, Azure account, can paste their email address in the chat. Let me put hi in the chat so that you can give it to me, and I will create it for you. I mean, not, it's not possible to create 100% because you lost the credit card or debit card, but I'm going to show you what needs to be done. So, okay, Ram has given that. Okay, maybe I'm going to give it here. If I go to next, so I think you already have it. Insert a security. I think you already. Okay, so let me do one thing. I'll go back. I'll say, I think you already have the account actually. Let me open a new one. Anyone else? Okay, let me. So I'm going to say like Azure free trial. It's not that difficult, folks. It's very straightforward. So come here, create first. First, you need to create a Azure account. I mean Microsoft account. I'll say like try Azure for free. Let me try Ram's account one more time, Malikarjun, and then I'll try to use yours. So I'll say like create one. See that you already have an account actually. Maybe you might not use this Azure, but you already have an account. So what you can do is you can reset the password and use it. Okay, let me try with Mallikarjun's account. That's why I asked multiple people, because they don't realize that they have an account. See that you already have an account. So who has already have account, sign in. It will ask for password. If you remember the password, yes, fine. So else you need to reset the password. So I'll go back. See that you already have an account. So most of the people will have an account actually, right? So If you don't have an account, then you need to, anyone else guys, so you can go ahead and it will ask you to your first name, last name and everything. So let's put like this. I'm going to say like NKAWS, for example, 001, for example. Okay, I'm going to put like this. Come next. See, it's asking to verify your email. You can verify that email. Once it is verified, you go inside and it will create account for you. So let me see. I got one more address. See that you also have an account. Most of the people will have that account. You might be used somewhere. And, I mean, you might say that, sir, I didn't use it with Azure. Maybe you don't use it with Azure. What might happen is you might use with some Microsoft service like email address, all these things. That's why it is showing it is there. You see that? Most of the people will have the account. Anyone else want to try? Anyone else to try? Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and give it a try. Ah, finally. Okay, please check. You should get an email. So please check the OTP, please. Okay, 847 and 463. Okay. Okay, so randomly I'm going to give some name. Later part you can check it. Okay, you can change that. Okay, so what about the name? Which name you want me to give? I need your first name and last name so that it will be easy. No need to change later. Okay, fair enough. Now, what exactly is happening is it is not creating Azure account. It is creating a Microsoft account actually. Okay, press and hold. Okay, done. So, okay, it's asking press and hold. Okay, pressed it and hold it. What it is waiting for. Let's prove. Okay. So now what exactly it is happening? It is creating a Microsoft account, not a Azure account. So let me, why it is doing this? I pressed and hold it. I don't know, guys. Let's see. So it is thinking something. So I pressed and hold it. So once it is done, later part, it will directly log into your Azure portal. But what we need to understand is uh, you don't have any subscriptions actually. So what will happen once you log in, it will be an empty account. So many people think that when you sign up, right, you are creating something in Azure. No, you are not creating an Azure. In fact, you are creating an Azure, Microsoft account actually. You're creating a Microsoft account. So let's see. I don't know why it is. I pressed and hold it, but still something is happening. So I'll do one thing. I'll go to next. So what I want to use, folks who has the account, just create something like this. Once it is created, right? What you need to do, you need to go to portal.azure.com. When you go to portal.azure.com, automatically it will log in. Here it's not working. I'm not sure because maybe I need to close everything and create one more time. But it's okay. Once you go next, and once the account is created, right? Come here. You need to sign in actually. Okay, you need to sign in. You don't even sign in, it will automatically takes into directly because you already logged in here, right? Because of some reason it's not working. Maybe if I close this and say like I'll try one more time, folks, right? Just want to make sure. I'll try one more time. So create one. Okay, can you, Neil, can you check out one more time? Just want to make sure. We'll try one more time, otherwise we can move on. So what will happen is, what exactly at the back end it is happening is, when you create an account at the back end, Microsoft is creating an account for you and allocating a unique ID for you, which is basically called as tenant ID. So every time, okay, 3040, okay, 304070. Maybe we'll try a different date this time. Okay, where is the button? I pressed and hold it. So let's see. So it's doing the processing, but you try yourself, Neil. Okay, just check it out. So it should not come, but it will create for you. Now what will happen is, we'll move on. So what will happen is, once it is done, you log into portal.azure.com. You're going to get something like this. If you go to subscriptions, if you go to subscriptions, right, nothing will be there for you because you just created an account. That's all there is. Nothing is there. I'll help you tomorrow. If you're still not able to figure it out, I can help you tomorrow. No need to worry. So as you can see, I'm able to see like four different subscriptions, right? In your case, so you won't see any of the subscriptions actually empty. So you can go here and you can basically go to each subscription. I'll tell you why you need a subscription. You can go to cost analysis here, and if you come here, it will show you like what is the, I mean, tomorrow if you want to see what is the cost and everything, what is happening, right? So here it will show the cost actually, what, why exactly it is getting cost and everything, right? So I can see this something called as FD. It is actually, so if I come here and uh, s- what is the cost I'm getting service by service, right? The reason I'm actually showing this is, sometimes if you forget it, if you don't know which service is consuming more, right? So you can actually come here and check it out. Okay, so you can come here and check it out what exactly is happening. So I can see like storage is basically consume this one, and all this actually. So total it was coming around 5927 as of now. So you can go back and if there is something if you want to delete, so see IP address, all these things we need to delete anyway. Now, in your case, if you go to subscriptions, it will be empty. Nothing will be there. In AWS, we call it as an account. In Azure, we call it as subscription. In Google, we're going to call it as a we call it as a project, which I'm going to explain tomorrow actually. So what we're going to do here is, since this will be empty, you need to add a new subscription. Okay, so okay, I got it. Okay, you're able to log in. Good, Sai. Very nice. Yeah. So it will be empty. So what you need to add is, you need to add a new subscription. How I'm going to do that? So I'm going to click on add here. When you click on add, so it will give you options like what are the options you have. I won't get any of the free subscription or free trial because I'm using this account almost like 6 to 7 years, right? Most probably I don't have, but in your case it will show a free trial. So you're going to get something like this. Three different things. One is a free trial, the other one is pay as you go, and the other one is Azure for students actually. So in your case, if you are, if you are lucky enough, you will have, or normally it will be for every new email address, this will be activated. Like select the offer, you can select it. But in my case, if you are lucky enough, right, it will be deactive like this. So that if it is deactivated, you will go for pay as you go. That means you don't have any restrictions. Okay, you don't have any restrictions. So either you can select this offer or you can select this offer. Actually, when you select this offer, it is going to ask all your details, like the debit card or credit card. So it is asking me for the login. Let me log in. So it is going to show me clearly. It is going to say like, okay, please enter the details. All the you can use both debit card and credit card, folks. So you can create any card actually. So see that it is asking, okay, I'll accept, go to the next, and basically it is basically giving all these things actually. Okay, you need to enter everything. Okay, you need to enter okay, sorry, I've closed it, but enter the card details and everything. All the information will be there, you can enter it, and then that's it. So the account will be created. Once that is done, right, then you have this subscription here. You have your subscription here, and then you can basically use it. So that means it is ready for you. Okay, it is basically ready for you. You can start using it. Only thing is, again, I'm showing, click on add here. It will show what are the offers exist for your account. Select that particular account. Okay, select particular account. So go there. It will be going to show all your information. It is going to ask your card details like Visa, Mastercard, or your credit card details. Put everything, because the reason they're going to charge you, let me tell you, depending upon the local currency. If you are in US, they're going to charge you $1, I think so. But if you are in India, they're going to charge you some 2 rupees, and they're going to give it to you back, so don't need to worry. The reason is they want to make sure that you are not a bot. You are a human who want to use the Azure, so they will check it out. So they're going to put you some bill, 2 rupees bill. Sometimes what will happen is, the credit card or debit card what you are using might not allow you to put 2 rupees bill. So you require, maybe they require a minimum of 100. So just check it out. And also sometimes might be your debit or credit card might be disabled online transactions. You need to enable that as well. Then only at most definitely you should be billed for 2 rupees or $1, depending upon your location. Then only it will be activated, and you will be noticing your, stuff here. I mean, you'll get an account. So that, why sir you have created 4 different subscriptions? Because the real time, this is the use case. See, normally what will happen is, so imagine you are working for a company where you are doing development, production, everything, right? So normally what we do is, we'll keep separate subscriptions for development and production, so that we don't want the security should be compromised, and security will be very very tight in the production environments. So what we want is, all development things should be developed in development subscription. Once that is done, you need to do the testing. That will go to the UAT. UAT stands for user acceptance testing, or system integration, you can call it. And once that is done, we're going to put in production. Now, what is the shared resources? That means, imagine shared resources is something like which is used by these three. Maybe you have an active directory, maybe you have a database, maybe you have an antivirus, which will be shared across all these things. So in that case, we're going to use shared services and keep it there. Just I want to get you a real time feeling, because if you go to any company, you don't see like only single subscription. If you take my company, you will get something like a 20 plus subscriptions. Okay, I have seen a person I spoke to in person who said that they have 41 subscriptions. So initially what will happen is, uh, initially if they don't have proper plan, they will keep on creating the subscriptions, and later point they will realize that, okay, we don't require this many subscriptions, we can manage with 2 3 subscriptions. But by that time it will be too late. That's why I'm actually, in my company, we are trying to move to different subscriptions, only 3 to 4 subscriptions, and decommission all the others. So that migration was in progress. Okay, so this is how you're going to create your subscriptions. Now next thing will be, I want to Okay, I want you folks to learn basic fundamentals of Linux. I teach this even in AWS class as well. In the first class, I teach how to create a Linux machine, because Linux is very, very important when you are going to become a SRE, DevOps engineer, or site reliability engineer, right? You're going to spend a decent amount of time in Linux. And let me tell you, this experience will be very, very useful if they give you Mac rather than Windows. So if you take Indian companies, most of the Indian companies will give you Windows machine for your day-to-day administration. I have seen like in US, they'll give you Mac, but even my company also, there are some people who are given Mac. So if you learn Linux as well, right, then Mac will be also useful for you. I mean, you can easily manage the Mac. It will be a little confusing at the start, but technically you can manage it. So what we're going to do is, let me let's deploy a Linux server in Azure, and try to log in and run some commands. The reason I'm taking this particular topic is so that you will get familiarity with how to create a virtual machine, and also you will get familiarity with how to deal with the portal actually. Okay, so because you're going to spend a decent amount of time in the portal. Same with any cloud. Tomorrow I'm going to explain about the physical and the logical hierarchy tomorrow, but as of now, let's do one thing. Let me show you how I can create a Linux machine. First, I'm going to search in the panel at the top, virtual machines. So you can see I have two virtual machines here. Okay, so if I don't want any of the virtual machine, one thing I can imagine, this is a Windows VM is there, I don't require that. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I don't want this resource group. I'm going to explain about resource group on Friday class, but I'm going to delete everything. Okay, I'm going to select this, give it here. If I delete it, everything gets deleted. Whatever is a resource group is something like a primary. Tomorrow I'm going to explain about physical and logical hierarchy. I'm going to explain that. Okay, so let's deploy a new server. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, create, and I have different options here. We go for virtual machine. Click on virtual machine. My goal is create a virtual machine and then try to log in and run few commands. So in Azure, everything goes to resource group. Resource group is something like a folder actually, where you put all your services. So I'm going to click on resource group. I'm going to give the name as AZB56. The batch number, this batch number is 56th batch. So, and I'll say like 56 RG. Okay, a resource group I'm going to give. You can give whatever the name you like. I said like AZB56 Linux VM1. Okay, I'm going to give this. Mostly I use the region called East US. For now, I'm going to use no infrastructure redundancy required. Okay, security type use for standard. Trusted virtual machines is not required as of now. We go with standard. Now there are a lot of operating systems available. You can go with Windows. You can have like Red Hat Linux, Oracle, SUSE. I'm going to go with as you can see like Ubuntu server. And do I have another Ubuntu server? Okay, I'll go with 2404, right? uh, this one. Come down, leave the defaults. Here you really don't require 2 CPU and 8 GB RAM. You can go with smaller one. Maybe I go for standard B1 MS, which costs like 1000 one month. I mean, it is actually charged you per hour basis. Okay, I'm going to select standard B1S. Come down. You can use a password. In AWS you don't have this option, like you need to use the SSH key, and then once it is done, then you can create a user accounts. But here you can give password as well. In general, I give admin Sri. You need to give 12 character password. Done. I'm going to select allow SSH port because it is a Linux machine. I need to connect, so I'm okay with the Linux SSH. If it is Windows, you're going to select. I'm going to allow these two as well for now. Okay, Windows that will be 3389 RDP port. So you're going to give image. the disk wise just give standard SSD, that's more than enough. Remaining everything is this one. Now here it is going to create the network for you. I'm going to leave the defaults anyway. After this class I'm going to delete the whole thing, but I'm going to leave all these defaults. We're going to talk about what is VNet and everything, either most probably on Friday or next coming week. Okay, so remaining everything you can go defaults, disable the monitoring. Next. So completely at the right side, it is showing that the basics is 1257. Networking is why they are saying networking actually. As you can see, come down inside the networking, you have a public IP which is for 300 rupees per month. It is saying if you transfer 100, that's an expectation. I'm not going to do anything. So this is what the cost actually. Right, this is what the cost. So but this should also, you should also get disk as well. So it is saying monthly cost is somewhere like 1500 and change, along plus you will have tax, but this is a monthly cost. So you need to do a pro rata basis on hourly cost actually, right? Anyway, come here, I'm going to click on create. I will check for if there are any public IPs I'm missing, because sometimes you forget to delete the public IPs, which will cost you unnecessary 300 rupees per month. So you need to keep that in mind. Once the lab is done, you can actually delete the lab. I'm going to tell you how you can delete the lab, how to identify where the billing is coming and everything. Anyway, initially you will use the free trial. You won't get that charges. Okay, nothing is there. Okay, so as you can see, it is getting created actually. As you notice, okay, it's created IP, this network secured VNet, everything. You're going to do that. So just try to note in a calendar what is your understanding or what is your technical expertise now, and exactly after 2 months, like this is December 10th, January 10th, and February 10th, right? By Feb 10th. So assuming that you practice, put all your heart and time on this one, and practice very well, right? Then you will see, you will clearly understand the difference, what are your capabilities, especially when coming to Terraform as well as AWS and Azure DevOps, right? Okay, let's go to the virtual machines here. So as you can see, the virtual machine is running and we have two IP address. One is a private IP and the other one is a public IP. I'm going to explain about public and private IPs on Monday class actually. So what I'm going to do, so let me log in. I'm able to log in, right? Give the same password. Okay, good. So I am able to log into the machine. I just want to give you few commands actually. Imagine if I want to list some files, for example, ls commands, right? So I'm going to list it here. Okay, so ls-al. If you want to check the disk space, something like df-h disk space. You want to list all the disk blocks lsblk. It will give you like list blocks, all the what are the different kinds of disk. You have like a disk, one disk here which is sda, your operating system disk. You have one more called as temporary disk actually. So you have lsblk. Now if you want to install something, for example, if you type if config, it won't work. It's saying that there is a package missing. So if you want to install some package, apt update and install apt install -y. I'm going to say like net -tools jq unzip, something like this. You can basically use this. If you use this, it is going to install that, right? Similarly, if you want to edit some file, right? What I want to do is I want to edit some file. I'm going to use like a nano. You have different options, nano, vi, vim, but when it comes to Ubuntu, nano is the people default use a lot. So nano, so I'll say like a demo file, right? So you can go ahead and edit the file. Okay, so once it is done, to save it, we use like ctrl control o, Once it is saved, ctrl control X, by the way. Okay, so it's done. If I type if config, right, you can see the IP addressing of this one. So if you just want to get the IP address, you can use like grep hyphen I, and we can give like inet. So it is going to get that pattern, print only that one actually, right? So if I want to edit the file, so I say like a nano demo file, for example. So here I'm going to do like welcome to Azure and Azure DevOps training in English, right? If you want to save that, Control O and hit enter. If you want to come out, Control X. You want to read that file, so cat demo file, right? Like this. Again, you're going to learn a lot of Linux as well, so no need to worry. I'm going to explain about how to deal with the disk, extend the disk and everything. And you want to remove that file, okay? rm-rf demo file, which is a deadly command, okay? If you use rm-r for a recursive actually and force, it won't ask any confirmation, it will delete. So there are people who lost their jobs because they didn't properly executed rm-rf. So apart from that, I can imagine sometimes people come for the interview with a huge amount of experience, saying that I did a lot of DevOps, so I used to test their basic scripting skills actually. So I still remember I asked people, okay, can you please print 1 to 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just print 1 to 10, not like this, using a script actually. It's very easy, right? So for I in, that's it, right? You can run the scripts actually, print 1 to 10. So imagine, not only this, see, if the person don't answer this question, I really don't blame him actually. Maybe there might not be a use case for this one. Then whatever, if he answers that is fine, else I'll say like, okay, execute or write some script which you know, which has some logic actually, right? Anything you like. So maybe he might not be known, right, how to print 1 to 10. So I ask, okay, you write any script you like. So you're going to learn not scripting in this one, you're going to learn scripting in Azure, in DevOps actually. But for that you also need to have the Linux. So you, that Linux, you're going to learn it here actually, right? So what I want is, I want you to deploy the Linux server. First, create the agenda for today is, you need to create the Azure free trial. Once the free trial is done, create the subscription. Create, once the subscription is done, you need to validate that by creating, whether the subscription is properly created or not. You need to validate by creating this, and then execute some commands. Get familiar with two things. One is get familiar with the portal. Okay, what are these things? So what are these things? When you log in, you won't see all these things. I have added it actually. I have added to the favorites. Check it out how you can add to favorites. Okay, so I'll tell you later, but take that as a challenge. Once the lab is done, right, you can go ahead, and once the practice is done, for initially 3 4 classes, you need to delete the whole resource group. Later point, I'll tell you what is chargeable, what is not chargeable. It will be, so if you delete it, if it will delete the whole RG. Inside the RG, which is RG for resource group, whatever you have here, everything will be deleted. Okay, so this is our first class of Azure. Now going back, tomorrow what we are going to discuss, class 2. Class 2 will be, first I'm going to talk about physical hierarchy of clouds. When I say cloud, I'm going to, because it is same thing with AWS, Azure, of any cloud. Okay, any cloud, at least AWS, Azure and GCP. And also we're going to talk about logical hierarchy. Okay, I'll say like logical hierarchy of Azure, and comparing with AWS and Google. I'm going to compare this one. That is what we're going to do. Class 3 will be, we're going to discuss about creating cloud shell, executing basic commands in cloud shell. I mean, I'm going to add this later, just at the high level, I'm going to give it to you.